You have noticed it, haven't you? A heavy, undeniable weight has lifted from your shoulders, not because the world got lighter, but because you finally stopped carrying the world's expectations. You are becoming less available. You are becoming a ghost to the systems and the people that once drained your very essence. And for the first time in your life, the air feels thin, the room feels quiet, and life feels simpler. This isn't a coincidence. This isn't just you getting older or growing tired. This is a divine extraction. You are being pulled out of the frantic, low vibrational frequency of the matrix and tucked away into a hidden place. You might feel a strange sense of guilt creeping in at the edges of your mind. A voice telling you that you should be doing more, that you should be replying to those messages, that you should be out there making things happen. But look at your hands. Feel the rhythm of your own heart. Does it want to be out there? Or does it finally feel at peace in the stillness? Lately, you found yourself staring at your phone as it vibrates, watching a name flash across the screen, and feeling nothing. No urge to pick up, no anxiety about the missed connection. You simply place it face down. You are no longer a 24/7 emergency room for people who refuse to heal themselves. You are no longer the emotional dumping ground for those who only remember your name when their own lives are in chaos. You are becoming unreachable, and in that unreachability, you are finding your soul. Think back to just a few months ago. Your schedule was a battlefield. Your mind was a crowded room of voices that weren't your own. You were overextending, over-explaining, and over-giving until there was nothing left but a hollow shell of a human being. You were available to everyone but yourself. You were a servant to a frequency that sought to consume you. But the shift has happened. The great simplification has begun in your life. You find yourself staying home more. You find yourself enjoying the sound of the wind or the hum of the refrigerator more than the chaotic chatter of a crowded bar or a toxic family dinner. Your circle hasn't just shrunk, it has been purified by fire. The people who used to take up hours of your time are suddenly nowhere to be found. And strangely, you don't miss them. You don't feel the need to chase. You don't feel the need to beg for a seat at tables where you were never truly fed. The symptoms are physical. Your body is rejecting the hustle. You may feel a deep, soul-level exhaustion that sleep cannot fix. This is because your spirit is redirecting all that energy inward. You might experience a sudden sensitivity to loud noises, bright lights, or crowded spaces. This is your internal frequency upgrading. Your system can no longer handle the static of the old world. You are being unplugged. You are noticing that when you do speak, your words carry more weight. Because you speak less, your yes has power and your no is a fortress. You are no longer leaking energy through the cracks of people-pleasing. You are becoming a closed circuit, a holy vessel. The simplicity you feel right now is the silence that follows a long, deafening storm. It is the peace of the chosen one who has finally realized that their availability was a gift the world didn't deserve. You are becoming a mystery to those who thought they owned you. They are confused by your silence. They are offended by your boundaries. But while they are busy being offended, you are busy being free. You are finally learning that being less available to the world is the only way to be fully present for the divine. Welcome to the simplicity. Welcome to the quiet power of the unseen. The reason your life has become so quiet, the reason you have retreated into this sacred solitude, is not because you are failing. It is because you have graduated. There is a spiritual law that the world does not want you to understand. Your power is directly tied to your presence, and your presence is diluted every time you give it to something that does not match your frequency. You are being forced into a season of restricted access because the divine is protecting the investment of your soul. Understand this. Every time you responded to that narcissist, every time you jumped to solve a crisis that wasn't yours, and every time you made yourself available to low vibrational gossip or meaningless social obligations, you were leaking the golden oil of your anointing. You were pouring holy water into a cracked cistern. The heavens have watched you drain yourself for years, trying to save people who were committed to their own destruction. The great simplification you are experiencing now is a divine intervention. God, the universe, the source, whatever name you hold sacred, has stepped in and cut the wires. You are being unplugged from the matrix because you were vibrating too high for the circuit. If you had stayed connected, the sheer voltage of your awakening would have fried your nervous system. You are a high-frequency being living in a low-frequency world. By making you less available, the divine is placing you in a spiritual Faraday cage, a protected enclosure where the electromagnetic interference of the world's chaos cannot reach you. This is why you feel that strange, detached peace, even when the world around you is falling apart. You are no longer on the same grid. Think of the spiritual physics at play here. In the realm of energy, attention is currency. Where your attention goes, your power flows. The enemy, the matrix, the parasitic entities that feed on human emotion, they thrive on your availability. They need you triggered. They need you distracted. They need you available to be offended, available to be worried, and available to be used. When you become unavailable, you become a ghost to them. They can no longer track your energy. You have moved into a blind spot in their system. This simplicity you feel is actually a concentration of power. Think of a laser. A regular light bulb is available to the entire room. It spreads its light in every direction, but it cannot cut through anything. It is weak because it is diffused. But a laser is focused. It is less available to the surrounding space. But because its light is concentrated into a single narrow beam, it can cut through steel. You are being narrowed. You are being focused. The divine is turning you from a flickering light bulb into a celestial laser. You might feel like you are breaking a rule. You have been programmed since birth to believe that busy equals worthy and that available equals loving. This is a lie designed to keep the chosen one exhausted. The truth is, your highest service to humanity is not your labor. It is your frequency. And you cannot maintain a high frequency while your energy is being siphoned by 1,000 different demands. The silence you are hearing is the sound of your own soul finally being able to speak. For years, your internal voice was drowned out by the static of other people's needs. Now in this simplified life, the static is gone. You are being called back to your original blueprint. You are being reminded of who you were before the world told you who you should be. This isn't isolation, it is insulation. This isn't loneliness, it is sovereignty. You are being held in the secret place of the Most High, where the noise of the marketplace cannot reach. The reason you are less available is that you are finally booked for a private audience with the Creator of all things. Do not be surprised by the sudden hostility or the strange, cold shift in the atmosphere when you walk into a room. You must understand that your unavailability is an act of war against the matrix. When you stop being available to be used, you broke a silent contract that the narcissists and the energy vampires in your life thought was written in stone. To them, your boundaries look like betrayal. Your silence sounds like an insult. Your peace feels like a personal attack. The enemy, the system that operates through the people around you, is panicking. Why? Because a chosen one who is less available is a chosen one who can no longer be controlled. Control requires a hook, and you have removed the part of yourself that those hooks use to latch onto. When they can't trigger you, they can't track you. When they can't demand your time, they can't drain your light. They are watching you from a distance, confused and frustrated because they can see you glowing, but they can no longer find the door to get inside your energy field. Notice how the people who used to ignore your presence are now obsessed with your absence. They text you just to check in, but you can feel the predatory energy behind the message. They aren't checking on your well-being. They are checking to see if the door is still locked. They are testing the perimeter. They miss the version of you that was a yes man, the version of you that apologized for things you didn't do, and the version of you that would sacrifice your own mental health to keep their illusions alive. Now that you have simplified your life, You have become a mirror that reflects their own emptiness back at them, and they cannot stand the sight. The Matrix is reacting to your shift by trying to create artificial emergencies. Have you noticed that just as you decided to protect your peace, suddenly 3 different people from your past reached out with a crisis? This is not a coincidence. This is a tactical maneuver by the enemy to pull you back into the fray. They want to see if you will abandon your new, simple life the moment someone screams for help. They want to see if they can still provoke that old empathic response that used to keep you enslaved. But you are seeing through the veil now. You see the strings. You see that their emergencies are just traps designed to keep you from rising. They are scared of you because your unavailability is a sign of your awakening power. In the kingdom of the blind, the one who can see is king. But in the kingdom of the loud, the one who is silent is godlike. Your silence is heavy. It carries an authority that they cannot replicate with their noise. When you don't respond to the bait, you are essentially telling the Matrix, you have no jurisdiction here. You are reclaiming your sovereignty. You are showing them that your life is no longer a public park where anyone can walk through and leave their trash. It is a private temple. You are witnessing the narcissistic collapse of the world around you. As you pull your energy back, the people who were living off your light are starting to wither. They are becoming more desperate, more aggressive, or more manipulative. They might spread rumors about you, calling you stuck up, selfish, or cold. Let them. Their labels are just proof that they can no longer reach you. If you were still available to be controlled, they would be calling you an angel. The fact that they are attacking you is the ultimate validation that you have finally set yourself free. You are winning the battle of frequencies by refusing to fight on their level. While they are vibrating in anger and desperation, you are vibrating in the simple, quiet frequency of enough. You have enough. You are enough. You do enough. This contentment is poison to the enemy. They need you to be more available so you can be more consumed. By choosing simplicity, you have become indigestible to the darkness. You have become a ghost in the machine, moving through the world with a power they cannot touch, because you are no longer seeking their validation or offering them your soul. What you are experiencing is the physical manifestation of a divine decree. There is a deep metaphysical truth that the world tries to hide from you. The more available you are to the Matrix, the less available you are to the kingdom. You cannot serve 2 masters. You cannot be a servant to the social demands of a fallen world and a vessel for the highest spiritual truth at the same time. The great simplification is not a loss of life. It is the narrowing of the path. For it is written that wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leads to destruction, but straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leads unto life. You have finally found the narrow way. This is the theology of the remnant. Throughout history, those chosen for greatness were always pulled away from the collective. Moses had to go to the backside of the desert. Elijah had to hide in a cave. Christ had to retreat to the wilderness. Why? Because the frequency of the many is a frequency of distraction and decay. The universe operates on the law of conservation. Your spiritual energy is a finite resource in this physical realm, and the divine is now enforcing a strict budget on your behalf. You are being hoarded by the Spirit. You are being set apart because the work you are about to do requires a level of purity that cannot be maintained in the presence of the profane. You must realize that your life feels simpler because you have stopped resisting the flow of the divine will. For years, you were swimming upstream, trying to be everything to everyone, which is a form of spiritual pride. You thought you could save them. You thought you could fix them. You thought your availability was your virtue, but the universe is showing you that your greatest virtue is your obedience to the call. The call is currently saying, "Come away, my beloved." This is the separation of the wheat and the chaff, happening within your own social circle and your own daily habits. The chaff, the useless, empty, and hollow obligations, is being blown away by the wind of the Spirit. The prophecy for your life is shifting into a new gear. You are moving from the preparation phase to the power phase. In the preparation phase, you had to learn how to deal with the narcissists and the noise. You had to experience the pain of being used so that you would eventually develop the hunger for boundaries. But in the power phase, the training is over. You are now being consecrated. To be consecrated means to be set apart for a holy purpose. A consecrated vessel is not kept in the common kitchen where anyone can use it to drink water. It is kept in the Holy of Holies, covered in a veil, used only for the most sacred rituals. You are that vessel. This is why you feel hidden. This is why you feel less available. You are being kept for a specific divine moment that hasn't arrived yet. The universe's laws are absolute. One of those laws is the law of vacuum. By becoming less available and simplifying your life, you have created a massive spiritual vacuum. In physics, a vacuum must be filled. By clearing out the static of low vibrational people and meaningless tasks, you have created the space for high-level downloads, miraculous opportunities, and true divine connections to enter. If your life remained busy, there would be no room for the miracles. The simplicity is the landing strip for the glory that is about to arrive. You are being taught the art of divine indifference. You are learning to watch the world burn without letting the heat touch your skin. You are learning to see the chaos of the Matrix as a mere projection. A movie that you are no longer a character in, but a spectator of. This detachment is not coldness, it is mastery. It is the realization that you are in this world, but not of it. Your true availability is now reserved for the whispers of the angels, the nudges of your intuition, and the quiet commands of the Creator. You are finally home within yourself, and in that home, there is no room for the noise of the street. Now, the time has come to seal this frequency. You must understand that this new, simpler version of yourself is not a temporary phase. It is your new permanent residence. To maintain this peace, you must practice the art of sacred grounding. Every morning, before you touch that phone, before you let the digital claws of the Matrix reach for your mind, you must claim your territory. Stand firmly on the earth and declare to the four corners of the universe that your energy belongs to the divine and to yourself alone. Visualize a pillar of white, impenetrable light surrounding you, creating a filter that only allows truth and love to pass through, while the demands of the world bounce off like pebbles hitting a diamond shield. Your practical step forward is the holy disconnect. You must stop explaining your absence. When you explain yourself to people who don't value you, you are still giving them power. You are still available to their judgment. Silence is the ultimate boundary. If they ask why you haven't been around, you don't owe them a paragraph of excuses. A simple, "I am focusing on my peace," is enough. If that offends them, let them be offended. Their offense is the sound of their chains rattling, not yours. You are no longer the janitor of other people's emotions. Your only job now is to keep your own temple clean and your own lamp lit. As you move through this week, notice the simple joys that the Matrix tried to make you forget. The way the water feels on your skin, the taste of a single piece of fruit, the profound depth of a deep conscious breath. These are the anchors that keep you in the high vibration timeline. Every time you choose a moment of stillness over a moment of busyness, you are casting a vote for your own sovereignty. You are telling the universe, "I am ready for the higher calling." You are proving that you can handle the weight of the glory because you are no longer distracted by the weight of the world. Let us now seal this shift with a prayer of activation. Close your eyes and feel the power rising in your chest. Divine Creator, source of all light and truth, I stand here today as a chosen one, fully aware of my value and my calling. I thank you for the great simplification in my life. I thank you for closing doors that led to my destruction and for silencing the voices that drowned out your guidance. I officially resign from the roles I was never meant to play. I resign as the savior of the ungrateful. I resign as the victim of the narcissist. I resign as the slave to the Matrix. I declare that my energy is now restricted. I am less available to the world so that I may be fully available to my purpose. I ask that you sharpen my discernment, that I may see every trap and every artificial emergency before it touches my peace. Strengthen my no, embolden my silence. Fill the vacuum of my simplified life with your wisdom, your abundance, and your divine protection. I am a closed circuit of power. I am a hidden treasure. I am a ghost to the darkness and a beacon to the light. I claim this peace. I claim this simplicity. I claim my power, now and forever. It is done. It is done. It is done. If you felt the weight shift as you heard these words, if you know that your unavailability is your greatest strength, then I invite you to claim this message. Type "I am unavailable to the matrix" in the comments below to anchor this frequency into the physical realm. Your words carry the power of creation. Speak your boundary into existence. If this message resonated with your soul, subscribe to this channel and join the remnant of chosen ones who are rising in silence. Share this with one other soul who is tired of being too available and needs the permission to go dark. Your life is becoming simpler because your power is becoming greater. Rest in that truth. Stay in the quiet. Stay in the light. We will speak again in the stillness.